he said jokes in a time where the world was just a little less sensitive. You know what I mean? People thought it was funny then. No one was fucking going after him then, but all of a sudden, 10 years later, people are speaking out how they're offended by what he said, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's offended. It's fucking, 2019? Can't remember.
Imagine doing that for thousands, if not millions, of people nationwide who want to stream games in 4K, 60 frames per second.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Power Button Show, or Power Button Podcast, whatever you want to call it. I am your co-host, Darren Badmouth Beasley, and who are you?
I am your co-host, Josh Meany.
All right, and today, every single time Josh swears, I'm going to take a shot. Not a shot. I'm going to take a sip of this drink. What am I drinking? I am drinking Kraken rum, and Pepsi. That's what I'm drinking. And today, along with my drinking game, we're going to play Gamer Pull the Plug. How do we play Gamer Pull the Plug?
We give a topic. If you game for it, you like it, you're for it, let's fucking do it. If you pull the plug, you don't like it, let's not fucking do it, you're not for it. First topic is James Gunn rehired by Disney to direct Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. To start filming February 2021, and he'll be working on his Suicide Squad reboot before he starts production on Volume 3 of Guardians of the Galaxy. You game, or do you pull the plug?
I'm totally game. Totally game for James Gunn coming back to Guardians of the Galaxy. What was the reason why they got rid of him?
Old tweets, like pedophile-like jokes he made, and yeah, like 10-year-old fucking tweets, so they let him go. So it wasn't much of shit.
I'll tell you, I'm pretty sympathetic to comedians and the jokes that they say. If you say a joke, it's a fucking joke. The moment you have to explain that it's not a joke, it's not a joke anymore. What I'm saying is, the things that he was saying, obviously he's not a pedophile. Obviously he doesn't condone that behavior.
Who the fuck does?
I don't know exactly what the tweets were. I read them at one point. I can't remember what they were. It's comedy, it's comedy. It's a joke, it's a joke. It's almost like the same thing that happened with the Oscars. They dug up what Kevin Hart was saying, which was a joke, and he's actually a comedian too, and try to bury him for it, which is fucking stupid. So they're doing the same thing with him. I'm glad they rehired him, although I will say this, I'm surprised.
I am fucking shocked.
Yes, I am very surprised that they rehired him.
Because you think about it.
The leftist, the people who really run this whole Hollywood thing, they're really strict on what they feel as though is inappropriate, unacceptable behavior that they won't be a part of. So I'm just surprised that they rehired him, although I think it's a good idea, and I don't think he should do Suicide Squad. I think we talked about that before. I think it's just a bad idea. I think he should just do Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, although they are redoing Suicide Squad, they're making it totally different.
Total reboot.
Yeah, so I mean, that's better, and obviously I'm sure, I have much more confidence in James Gunn directing another Suicide Squad movie than whoever the fuck directed the last one.
Yeah, seriously.
David Ayer, oh my god.
I wonder how Guardians 3 is going to be. Like, not even regarding James Gunn. I just wonder how that movie's going to be. Yeah, because
post-Endgame.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, or even, post-Endgame. I'm thinking post-Infinity War. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen Infinity War yet.
Gamora, she fell, taking it.
She fell from a very high distance, just so Thanos can have some ice on his
wrist.
Yeah. So I don't know. She has to be coming back because it's not Guardians of the Galaxy without her. But at the same time, it's kind of shitty because it was kind of interesting for Quill to go through something like that. I think his character would have been, deeply developed if she got clipped for real. I'm just saying, I don't think they'll do this, but maybe she won't come back. Maybe Nebula will just replace her.
After Guardians Volume 3, James Gunn said he wanted to completely have a new team of Guardians. So Volume 3 would be the last one with this team of Guardians.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, it might change.
Although that'd be really shitty, man.
Yeah, this is the team I love, what I mean? This is why I watch Guardians. It depends how they do it. Like, maybe one of the characters will still be there. Like, a complete new team sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah, it sounds risky at least.
Yeah.
It could be good. It could be fire, but...
And I wouldn't want it to be Volume 4, obviously.
No,
I'd want it to be like Guardians of the Galaxy.
A New Hope.
Or just call it Guardians. You know what I mean?
Something
Change
like
the
that.
name
Yeah.
of something,
Yeah.
Or the New Guardians. You can call it the New Guardians.
That could be kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it'd fit well. But yeah, I'm definitely glad about this. Good for him and good for Disney for recognizing that it was bullshit, the whole thing. And now it kind of makes it seem stupid They kind of just play themselves. Did this whole hula hoop thing where they fired him. They didn't want nothing to do with him. They're trying to look for other people. They can't find other people. Then they go back to him. It's like, you guys, what the fuck are you guys doing, really? Did you hire him because you couldn't find anyone else? Or did you hire him because you truly forgave the tweets that he put? Because if you really forgave the tweets that he put out, then why did you look them up in the first place? What were you looking for exactly anyway?
It wasn't even Disney that was looking for those tweets. It was fucking trolls. Trolls went back and brought up these tweets and made them trending again. And then all the backlash happened, and then Disney saw it, and then Disney reacted.
This is all because of fucking trolls that we lost one of the great directors in the MCU. Because of internet fucking trolls.
Batista was very active about, he was like, I can't believe we're really going to let the trolls win.
Well, it's not necessarily the trolls, though. It's not the trolls. The trolls can do whatever they want. It's Disney looking at that and saying, that's a valid reason.
Right, and the backlash is what made them be like, oh, fuck, now we got to get rid of them.
Right, but that's the thing. They don't even have to really get rid of them. But, the trolls that are bringing up the tweets, yeah, obviously the tweets are bad and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Disney doesn't have to flip the fuck out just because some small minority has a problem with it. Most people want James Gunn to direct the movie.
Yeah.
Most people know the tweets are a joke. So there's a small minority that with a big, loud voice, because like I said, the left control the media, and they're all in the Washington Post, the Huff Post, they're all liberal outlets. So they have big voices, but there's not a lot of them. So they make a lot of noise, and the Disney crumbles. They basically just cave into the demands of the liberal, you know what I mean? And so I kind of blame Disney more so than anybody else, than anyone else.
Disney, if you really wanted to do your research and figure out who's directing your movies, you figure you'd go back and look at the shit. You're gonna wait for some internet trolls to bring up some tweets, and then you're gonna fire someone?
Really meant that much to you? You'd think you would just look it up before you even hired someone. I don't know.
It's not completely the trolls' fault, but the trolls won. They set out to do something, and they got them fired.
But
you know what I mean? They accomplished what they were set out to do.
I don't think they were trying to get him fired, though.
They were, though. That's why they went out and got those tweets from 10 years ago of him saying that shit. They went and searched through his shit. Because there was people who just didn't like James Gunn, so they tried to get him fired, and he got fired. You know what I mean? So they accomplished what they set out to do.
Now it doesn't mean anything, because they went ahead and they fucking rehired him.
I'm totally game for James Gunn coming back, obviously. He said there was going to be a new team of Guardians after Volume 3, but he didn't say he was directing the new team of Guardians after Volume 3. So I hope he stays around in the MCU to direct more after Volume 3. Guardians and a new director. I mean, if you get new Guardians, to get a new director would make sense, but I'd really like James Gunn to stay on that property. If not, then give him another property in the MCU of some sort. I know they're working on the Eternals. Maybe he can do that. That's going to be part of Phase 4, and they're going to introduce the Eternals because the Inhumans got completely scrapped. They were like, no, we don't want to do this. And then the TV side of Marvel was like, okay, we'll do it. And then look what the fuck happened. So now they're going to do the Eternals. I can't wait to see that. I really think it's bullshit over what he got fired for. He said jokes in a time where the world was just a little less sensitive. People thought it was funny then. No one was fucking going after him then. But all of a sudden, 10 years later, people are speaking out how they're offended by what he said, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's offended. It's fucking, 2019? Can't even remember. Hopefully, Disney really thinks harder before they act like that. Because now, they made themselves look even more dumb than when they fired them by rehiring them. Like you said, they played themselves completely. I can't believe they took him back. I didn't think they would actually rehire him. You know what I mean? After all that, to go back and be like, all right, admit they were wrong. Sure, everyone's happy. They started so many petitions to get him back. All the actors of Guardians of the Galaxy spoke out and signed that petition.
Yeah.
Batista was the loudest voice.
Batista was begging Disney for them to fire him.
Saying how ridiculous they were and bashing Disney and everything. He was basically begging to be fired.
I think he should direct Star Wars now.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see what he does with the Suicide Squad. And then it's crazy. We have a director directing a MCU movie and a DC movie. That is interesting. Maybe he'll bring some of these DC Marvel fanboys together, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll unite them in a way. But that's really cool that we have a director directing both, and I would love to see James Gunn's vision be brought to whatever team he uses for Suicide Squad. Sharkman or King Shark and stuff like that. Nobody that I really know, but whatever. If you can do something really great with these characters, then fucking go for it. I don't know shit about anyone who came up on the rumored roster.
Hopefully DC can come back from the dead, basically. Yeah.
Would be the man to help them do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd say so.
That is our thoughts on James Gunn coming back to Disney. Our next topic, Google revealed its new game streaming service, Stadia.
This is from my understanding of what Google's trying to explain to me.
Us.
And this is ridiculous. This sounds like sci-fi. It sounds like Skynet. It sounds like some
Skynet,
top shit. From my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong. But from my understanding,
It comes with a controller. Okay, so you're buying a controller. I believe it's $50 for the controller. Yeah, it's kind of a lot, but whatever.
you are streaming. It is going to be the Netflix of video games. So you're going to stream video games to your TV or your PC. And, that sounds kind of insane because if your internet drops or dips, you know what happens. You people who watch Netflix, you know how it goes. It starts to drop, your quality drops, it'll stutter, it'll load. I'm just afraid of the same thing happening to these games. I mean, one little hiccup could cost a lot.
That's why there's a certain requirement for the internet
in
order to even run it.
There is. Google is basically a technological giant. They're just massive.
The amount of power that they can dish out is fucking insane.
10.7 teraflops of power. I'm not going to explain to you what a teraflop is. It's basically just a mode of measuring how powerful hardware is when it comes to gaming and stuff. They want to run 4K at 60 frames per second, right? Here's the thing. Wait, cross-save feature allows you to save your save state with other players. I'm not even sure what that means.
I can send the game to you, and you can pick up where my save spot was. So you're playing Resident Evil 2, right? And you save.
On the Xbox?
On whatever, on the Xbox, PlayStation, or using this.
Okay.
And you save. You can send it to another player, and they can pick up from where you saved.
How? I don't fucking know.
Because that would mean that you would have to have communication with my gamer tag.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now here's how Google's going to do it. And this is the part that's insane, right? They want to use their data centers and what they'd use for the cloud, like what you use for your cloud if you're a Google, Samsung user, whatever, or a Pixel user, and basically process the game for you. They want to literally run the game and then send you the results. So in other words, your PC does not have to have high specs. Obviously, I'm talking about a TV, guys. I'm talking about Chromecast. Casting something to my TV. My TV is not a game console. So they are processing the game away from my house and sending me the results of that gameplay to my TV through Wi-Fi. Do you know how much power that requires? That is absolutely insane. They must have really looked at their servers and really looked at their hardware and been like, we could fucking do this.
To run a game on a PC, 4K, 60 frames per second, that costs quite a bit of money. You're going to put some time into it to build your own PC. If you want to build it, you can just buy it. But imagine doing that for thousands, if not millions, of people nationwide.
It's almost incomprehensible the amount of power that they need and just the money that it would go into. That is, I believe it when I see it. Am I game for it?
Fuck yeah, I'm game for it.
Do I believe it? Not really. Not until it actually goes on my TV and I can play smoothly. But I'm game for it.
Yeah, I'm game for it too. And I find it hard to believe, but then again, I don't think Google would come out, do this whole live stream and announce this thing if they weren't confident that it was actually going to work. And so I believe it's going to end up working, and I think it's really going to change gaming, like the gaming world. Like everything's going to fucking change after this. Everybody's going to get this shit. Everybody. Like everybody wants cross-platform gaming. This thing's making it a possibility. Also said it was going to end up supporting, I remember we were talking about 8K, 120 frames per second. What the fuck does that even mean? Like, I feel like 4K is already probably better than I can even see.
Well, then again, I'm also a blind motherfucker, but you know what I'm saying.
4K is fucking impeccable. 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second sounds too fucking fast to me. I mean, this thing comes out, and if it does every fucking thing they said it's gonna do, I'm getting it. But yeah, that's what we think of Stadia. Alright, our next topic is the Game of Thrones Showrunners movie is rumored to explore the Old Republic. Disney wants to open the Star Wars universe and appeal to a more Game of Thrones style audience. The quote from the article says, "Think Star Wars meets Lord of the Rings."
This is supposed to be a movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, man. This is, guys, do you remember episode 1? These are for the hardcore Power Button podcast fans, if we have any. The few of you that are like really into the Power Button podcast, the first episode, I went on a rant about how they need to make the Old Republic a movie. That's what they're doing. And they're getting the people to do it that are, oh my God, they're born to do this shit. Game of Thrones? The people who made Game of Thrones.
The showrunners from Game of Thrones.
I don't even watch Game of Thrones. I don't. But I know that it's good quality TV.
Game of Thrones is one of my favorite TV shows of all fucking time.
I can be more game about this topic. This is probably the topic that I'm the most game for out of all the ones that we've ever done on the show. This is what I wanted a long ass time ago. That's a great fucking idea. Look at the videos on YouTube. Millions and 30 million views for one fucking video. They got like 4 or 5 of them now.
No matter what you do in the Old Republic.
It doesn't matter as long as you know what the fuck is going on. You know what people want. And I like how you put Darth Malak there.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Malak,
that's
they
perfect
could do
picture.
something with Malak.
Yeah.
They could do something with Revan. They could do something with Malgus. You know what I mean? Oh my God, they have so many. Darth
So
Bane.
much freedom too. It being that far, like hundreds of years before the Star Wars we know, they have so much freedom to really do whatever they want. They could do something that doesn't make sense with what we know now, but hundreds of years can change things like that.
That's
you
what
know
I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying? They're so open. They have so much they can do.
See? So
So was I right or was I right?
Well, on my point also in the debate, I never said that they couldn't do it. I just said they didn't want to do it. But then that's what I ended up being. I never said you were wrong on it being open or them being able to do a lot with it.
No.
I said they could.
no, yeah, no.
I just didn't think they'd want to do it.
Yeah,
They do want to do it because everything else is fucking failing.
yeah.
I'm game 2. I mean, the showrunners for Game of Thrones, I'll trust these motherfuckers with anything. They went season for season for season for season.
Hits, motherfuckers, hits. Nothing but fire.
Nothing but fire. Seriously, though, guys. If you guys watch Game of Thrones, like, if you're a fan of Game of Thrones and you're a fan of Star Wars, you blew your load when you heard this news. Just thinking of them doing anything in the Old Republic is really, really fucking exciting. But I don't know if they're directing it or if they're just putting it together. I believe they're directing it. But even them just putting it together, because, I mean, the showrunners don't direct every single episode of Game of Thrones, but every single episode of Game of Thrones is absolutely fine. So, you know what I mean? So them overlooking it, you know what I mean?
Wait, every episode of Game of Thrones is fire.
Damn near. I don't think I've ever watched an episode of Game of Thrones, but like I don't like this episode.
I like every episode of Game of Thrones. It's good shit. He's out. Yeah, Game of Thrones showrunners doing an Old Republic. There's nothing more perfect than that. That's the best Star Wars news I've heard in the last fucking 10 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's our thoughts
In
on...
a movie, not a show.
In a movie, yeah, at that. At that.
Because I didn't want a show because that's low budget. I felt like it would be low budget.
Well, I don't know about low budget, because, I mean, these
Well,
fucking...
it would be
these
high
Disney
budget.
Plus shows have high budgets.
Yeah, but
right now.
but you know how
yeah,
how-
compared to a movie,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah.
I guess you're right. But yeah, that's our thoughts on the Old Republic movie.
Yeah.
That's all the topics we got today on the Power Button. Be sure to check out the Jay Meany review. I'm gonna have an Us review. I'm going tonight, and I'm gonna have a Shazam review. I'm going to the early screening this weekend. Check out Darren Unfiltered whenever he drops his shit. And yeah, be sure to check out the Power Button podcast every Tuesday. And until next time, guys.
Peace out, motherfuckers.